Hey, 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 we're back. We're black. We're brown ambition, ambition, ambition,
Ambition,
ambition,
ambition, ambition.
ambition. Hey, Amanda, how you doing,
I'm
girl?
trying to do the viral Hatiwa Tata Osaka Monster.
Oh, I haven't
Star.
seen it.
Star.
Oh, I feel old.
That Megan the Stallion,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
Japanese
yes.
song.
I've heard.
There's like this dance everyone's doing. And I'll stop. No one needs
Does it
to
require
see
good
that.
knees?
No, it's a
Okay.
pretty, it's a lot of like handography.
Okay, I could do that.
You
I
know, I
got the
think there might be
wrist,
like a
but
little hip hop.
I don't got the knees, but I got the wrist. I feel like my
Yeah,
wrists are still in good
got a
shape.
little. What would be summer without like a little viral TikTok dance moment? And I'm just glad because that song is hot. And shout out to Japanese music because maybe like K-pop is that girl right now. Everyone
Yes.
is into K-pop, but like,
Yes.
I don't know who this young man is that she has on this track. Or is she on his track? I don't know. Anyway, love it. Love it for them. Happy September.
Yes. Or August or whatever.
Happy pumpkin spice latte season.
I know. Let's just say that.
It's post Labor Day.
Yes. And I mean, I know we're deeper into the year, but I feel like it's a good time for a check in and check up of like your financial plus goals.
It's like looking back, it's like the September hangover after the summer of being outside.
Yes.
This summer was expensive.
Yes.
But the worst part is that now the holidays are coming and it's like, oh, let's get it together right before
Yeah, that's why I
holiday
said,
season.
girl, this is the episode. Let's check in and check up. Y'all listening, good opportunity to
Yep.
check in and check up as well. So yeah, do you remember like what your goals were in January? You're like, oh, this year I hope to ... when it came to your like your finances plus?
Tiffany, I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, in January, I was in like peak mental health crisis. Like, I didn't make any sort of goals. Like, the only goals I had January, leading into Feb, then my dad had his like whole thing. It was like survival was my only
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
But one shiny, like one of the bright spots when I think about that period is that I hosted Mama's Night In, which
Okay. I
was an
remember.
event at my house where I invited like 20 women, like local, like neighbors and friends, and had this like killer party. I don't know who she was that hosted that party at the time, but my goal at the time, because you and I talked a lot about making more connections and stuff, and my
Yes.
goal at the time was to do one of those again. So yeah, but everything else that I probably should have made a goal, like saving more and bringing in more income from the business and like writing this book. I'm not gonna lie, those three things weren't cute. But I am proud that in the past month or so, I am finally making progress on that. So I'm trying to like put aside the disappointment in what I thought could be the first 6 months of this year and just like make peace and just say, okay, I'm putting my best foot forward now and let's get going again.
Ooh, we're gonna call this episode "Back Half Heavy." That's one of my friend. He says that, like back half heavy.
Big
You know,
back
like
24.
right, like the
Like a big back.
the half of the year, like the half of this back half we gonna hit it hard. It's heavy.
This is it.
So
what about you, Miss Kondo?
Honestly, my goal, same for the business, was just never would have made it. I mean, it was not, I was just trying to save the business. January was so business wise fraught with, is we gonna make it, because the year was so hard and we had like almost no month of emergency savings. Like we had 1 month of emergency savings left. Everything was going down. Like one of my businesses were down over 40%. The other one was just dragging. The Budgetnista was just dragging. December was dismal. And so my main focus in January was just, if we can get a head above water. So we hit January hard, and we did, thankfully. And so personally, I'm trying to think, had I bought the condo? Had I closed on it? I feel like I closed on the condo maybe the end of 2023, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe I closed in the beginning of 2020. It was such a whirlwind, if I'm being
Mm-hmm.
honest. I believe that already closed on the condo. I feel like I was letting that the person who lived there before live there for a few months. Um, she paid me the carrying cost because I guess I don't know where she was moving. So my personal goals were, as far as financial, were to like create a budget to to renovate the condo, and I'm sure I blew past it at some point. You just stop counting it, like, yeah, just buy it, here's my
Mm-hmm.
card. So I did not stick to budget, but I'm not mad at it. And
It
so I
looks so stunning.
thank you. You
It
know what?
looks so good, Tiff. Like,
That was one of my
so
goals
good.
too,
It's so good.
was to enjoy the money I worked so hard to make. That was one of my goals,
Fuck
because
yeah.
everybody knows I'm a bit of a miser, cheapy. And I told myself, Tiffany, you don't spend a lot of money. And my sister Tracy and I
Mm-mm.
have this we have this funny line that we say to each other, like when we're going to spend money in ways that are not quote unquote traditionally responsible. What is the money for? you know
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
she'll say
like that.
like, I'll say like, "Ooh, we should get Uber Eats, and maybe like two rolls of sushi is like $50." And it's like, hey, that's a lot, because we don't feel like picking it up. And she's like, girl,
Mm-hmm.
what is the money for? you know and so, meaning like
Yeah.
enjoyment. And so I'm proud of myself
We
that,
gonna balance that though.
yes, that I balance. Yes, because you know me,
Yeah.
like I didn't have balance on the other side. I'm like, no debt, no overspending, no this, no that, no
Mm-hmm.
this, and then the other side is like, you get to enjoy, you get to create a beautiful place where you want to live. And so I say, all in all, with this halfway through the year plus, I'm kind of where I wanted to be. I definitely said I wanted to start to trade this year and lean into that. I have not. So that's probably one of the
Oh,
goals. Yeah, that I started a little bit because I took my friend Terry's course. I'm just so scared. I don't know why.
what's going on? Yeah, I remember that now. You were
Yes.
gonna do it alongside
Yes.
the people who signed up for Terry's
Yes.
challenge.
So
When
I
we just
started
talked to
it.
Terry this week
I did. And so I
or
did. I took the
recently.
class, I took the course, and I did some of the simulations. I'm like afraid to actually jump in. I think I'm still holding
Mm.
on to that time that my first investing, remember with Jake the Thief, my first investing jump
Oh
in when I was in my
goodness.
20s, and like I lost everything. So I think I'm still
Mm.
carrying that fear
Trauma.
alongside me of like really jumping in and moving beyond just the learning and the practicing to the doing. Like I don't trust myself almost. But so that's where I am halfway through the year. Really trying.
Mm.
I would really love to end the year with taking some trades for real, even if it's just $10, just to show myself, see, you can do it. You're
Yeah.
capable. Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, yeah, it's like that mind block. So when you have that fear, like, is it something
Mm-hmm.
that when you can log on to the site, like what's your brokerage that you're using to trade?
E-Trade.
E-Trade. So when you
Mm-hmm.
get there, have you like looked at something to purchase? Is it that you
Yes.
just get stuck
Yeah, I think E-Trade
looking at
has a
it?
simulation. Is it Sink or Swim? There's a simulation I've been using.
Yeah,
And I'm
think or
like,
swim.
okay, yeah, Thinkorswim. And so I've used it. But yeah, so when I go on, even though obviously I'm not going to be trading with $100,000 out the game, what comes up in my head is like, what if you make a mistake? This is real money. What if you make a mistake? Even though if I lose two, $300, it's not going
Yeah.
to put me in a bad financial state. I don't know. It's like this compounding, like snowball. That like 200 leads to 2,000, leads to 20, leads to 200,000, leads to you're on the street again.
Yeah, it's almost like you're thinking of it like when you go to Vegas and if you
Mm,
place a losing bet
yes.
and then you just keep digging yourself in deeper to get
Yes.
out. However, like what are some facts? Like can we check the facts on
Ooh,
that? So,
yes. Ooh, thanks you, Dr. Green. Look at Dr. Man. Yes, you're right.
wait, you know what? I just did my emotion regulation homework from my
Ooh, from
DBT
therapy?
group
Okay.
from group therapy, my
Okay.
DBT. Shout out to dialectical behavioral therapy, y'all. It is that girl. But yeah, checking the facts is
Okay.
so important. And I'm just like, so let's sit with that.
Okay, let's do it.
You think you're
Yes.
going to fail, but what's the
Mm-hmm.
reality? So let's say the worst happens. You invest $500
Mm-hmm. And I
in,
lose it.
but what does that mean in trading? Like you lose it because the stock value plummets?
Yes. So let's just say like
Yeah.
buy a stock at it, like, it's $500 a share and you're hoping that's going to go up to 550. but it goes down
Yeah.
to 250. And you're like, yikes, what I put in, I lost, like what I put in.
And
I
what's
guess
the rule? Does Terry have like a rule around like when to sell a loser?
Well, she also has like you could do these stop losses basically. So you could even say if it gets to this, child, abandon ship. So you don't actually have to go down, down, down. So that is in place.
So there's no way you'd lose everything. Also, if you invest in an Apple share, it's never going to hit zero.
Yeah.
Very unlikely to hit zero.
I think what's really I
There's
don't
a
think it's the
fact.
money that we're like now that we're talking through it. I think my fear is not so much about the loss of money. It is about proving to myself, see, I told you didn't know how to do it, just like before.
Oh.
Like see, like you're not too far off from that 25-year-old Tiffany that made those big, big, big bets on yourself. And when it came to investing and you messed up everything. So I think it's like if you mess up this small thing, it's an indicative of like you'll make bigger mistakes like in investing. Better to say where it's safe. Like almost like I'm afraid that if I have a loss, it proves to me that I can't do this. I can't invest in this way. And
Hmm.
and it's better for me not to know whether that's true or not. And so that's what like I'm struggling with. Like this, the self-talk I'm telling myself is you don't know how to actively invest. That you're not
Hmm.
capable, you don't know how, you already made a big mistake. And if you do start to actively invest, even if you do well at first, you're probably going to make a huge mistake and lose all of the gains you've done with Budgetnista in your business. That like
Okay, well, that just took a huge
I
leap.
know.
Because wait, I missed the part where you said you were going to invest your Budgetista money.
I
You were
know.
going to invest like your business fund.
I know. I did it, but I just
And you won't. We're
that's
talking
where I
about
leap to.
$500.
I know. That's where I
Yeah.
leap to. I leap to like one thing means everything.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like teaching Rio to ride his bike without the training wheels, and he fell. And I was like, yeah, you're going to fall again, so definitely don't ride that bike anymore. Do you think that was good advice to tell him? You screwed it up. You're going to screw it up again.
No, that's what practice looks like.
Exactly. And I think the practice will build your confidence.
Yeah.
And like and it's like, I also would say the fact is that how old were you when that guy scammed you? $25,000?
25, yeah. Mm-hmm.
How old are you now?
I'm 45. I'm turning 45 this year. I know.
So 20 years? You haven't learned something in 20 years?
I know.
Also, who else do you know right now who's 20?
20,
Supergirl? I mean, she's not quite 20.
No, she's 17. But she turns 18 this year. So close enough.
Like, what would you say to yourself? I'm sure you have talked to yourself at 20. Like that woman, the young woman who thought she was like doing something with all this money and then got scammed. Like, have you forgiven her?
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just like,
She just
why
made
didn't
a
you ask for
whoopsie.
help? Why didn't you ask for help? Because I thought that, that's what it is. At that time, when you're 20, you swear you know everything. And even though my dad was a whole CFO and an accountant and had his master's in finance, everything, I didn't tell him anything because, girl, I know best. I didn't ask for help. And I just wonder, why didn't she ask for help? There was a level, I think what it is that there was a level of arrogance that comes with young people that like, I can do it. And I guess I'm like I'm the opposite of that now where I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I would tell her that like, one, you should have asked for help. But two, he was a liar, a cheater, a scammer. Like that doesn't give anybody a right to cheat and scam you just because you didn't ask for help.
A professional scammer.
Yeah, because I found out later. I mean, like literally, he's tried by the federal government. Like when I looked up his name, he has a very unique. His name is not Jake. He has a very unique name. So when I looked him up, I said, "Wow, not the United States government literally taking him to court." So this is a person who, even if I did know, this is a professional scammer.
Yeah. Well, think about everyone who invested with Bernie Sanders or any other Ponzi scheme runner. But those were intelligent people. Like, I mean, not just intelligent, but like were already extremely wealthy. And they were conned, in that situation. And I think that shame around it, Like, you just don't want it to stop you from, like, it's not fair. It's like he doesn't get to rob you
Mm-hmm.
of this opportunity. It's almost like you're giving that person a little bit of power.
Yeah.
But in this situation, another fact is that, well, you're not investing in someone's. What did he want you to invest in? Was it a business or something?
Some commodities, like to purchase things that he was going to
Commodities.
sell later in some shops. So it's not
Yeah.
that at
That
all.
were like unregulated. You didn't
Yeah.
see any of the reports, but now you're like, we're talking about like blue chip stocks potentially, like
Mm-hmm.
an Apple. These people, you can read their filings, you can read the news about them. It is a lot more transparent. You're not like, you're the one in the driver's seat too. Like, it's not like you're not entrusting a financial advisor, investment advisor to trade
Yeah.
your money for you. Like,
Yeah.
you're the one in control. You can see where it's going.
Honestly, Terry told me, because I told her like all my fears. She told me like at least 6 months, just trade, the paper trading. See what it feels like to lose some, win some. So that way, you start to, she's like, I just want you to get your muscle memory together where you're like, I'm
Mm.
actually in control of this. That like I know, I think it was, there was a huge dip in the market not too long ago. And she was like, but I have my stop losses in place where it's like, oh, if it goes to here, not that far, don't take it that far. And so what I
Mm.
do like is when I see Terry, I love the fact that there is a lot of autonomy in her income. Like, you know how it is with business. People think with business that we out here like, ew, I tell my business, give me money, and she gives it. The
Yeah.
business is like, I'm sorry, you better talk to me nice.
If only.
I know. And so what I do like that I see with Terry, that there is more of, with enough research, obviously nothing is guaranteed, with enough research,
Mm-hmm.
um, she follows like a handful of stocks that she can say, you know what, I can tell this stock because the last 5, 6 years I've been researching it. If I put my money here in a day or two, I should get that money plus some back. She took a trade not too long ago. She put 200,000 in, got 900,000 back. And she was like, yeah,
Yeah.
but that wasn't just like, oh, I saw it today. She's like, this is a stock that I've gotten to know very, 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 very well. And I knew its ins and outs and ups and downs. And so I like that thought of like, there is on top of my business, because I love doing that, I have a little more autonomy on how much money I'm able to make for myself without having to wait for my, the business ebbs and flows and people who I work with. And I want that autonomy to be able to say, like a part of my income comes from a place that I have more control over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that or I don't know, it feels like to me you've gotten to like the heart of why you're feeling that way. Now
Yeah.
it's just about the action. So what is
Yeah.
like,
What's the next step?
what's the action? So you've taken Terry's course already, or is it like you've done
No,
all
I'm
the
taking it
modules and
like
everything?
so like I take like a course and then I do whatever the homework. I take a course to look with the homework. I
Okay.
think the next step. I think what I need is quite honestly like a partner, like someone to do it
Mm.
alongside me. Because I need someone like it's like going to the gym. I need someone to be like, oh, either once a week or once every 2 weeks to kind of check in to be like, okay, knowing, oh damn,
Mm.
I got to get on the phone with Mandy, and I have to have done that, that module
That
or tried that
accountability.
thing. So I
Does she
believe
have within the program, is there like a
community.
accountability structure to it?
Yeah. So there is a community. I just haven't like. It's the same reason why I don't have a personal trainer because I'm like, damn, I don't want anybody to hold me accountable. But I'm like, damn, I need someone to hold me accountable. So I need to pick.
Yeah.
And my sister Carol actually really like good at
I was
investing,
about to
and
say, what about that sister who's like an investor? Is
yeah,
Carol?
Carol, she's like really good girl. She bought Tesla when it was $30 a share. She tried to tell us. That's how she paid for her wedding. She was like, there's this company called
Wow.
Tesla because she's an engineer. It's so exciting. Da, da, da. We were like, She told us for 2 years.
Mm.
I can't remember how much she put. I think she put like $1,500 in and got back like $40,000. And she sold her
Jeez
shares, and
Louise.
that's how she and her husband had paid for their wedding. And I was like,
Wow.
why didn't you tell me? She's like, I did for 2 years. I told the group chat.
Mm.
So anyway,
So now, what is she doing? She want to do this with you?
I'm
Does she
gonna
already
ask
trade?
her. She does, but like light, but I should ask her. But like, Carol, let's check in, like, maybe twice a month, and say we're gonna do this together. I need someone who is going to hold me accountable for real, for real. Because you be telling people and they're like,
Mm.
yeah, but then, you forget, they forget, everybody forgets.
Do you want me to do it with you?
Yes.
You don't have to ask me. I mean, you kind of have to ask
I
me.
know. I wasn't sure. I was like, I know maybe be busy, but yes, I would like somebody who's
No, I
like,
think I have the bandwidth. I think I do. And I will definitely commit to doing the think or swim with you with some fake
okay.
money.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Be my swimming coach, swimming
Ooh,
bestie.
I
Okay,
like
so what do I
this.
need to do? Do I
Okay,
need to
so
get the course?
yes, I will get you the course.
Okay,
And
give me.
I think twice a month, maybe every other week. Or we can decide cadence, but I feel like every other
We
week.
already meet like every week, Tiffany. Like we could just.
That's true. Yeah, but as far as like we should, you know what? Well, I want you to like once you like log in and look to see, okay, how long are the course? So that way, because I don't want weekly to feel overwhelmed. We can certainly check in
Hmm.
every week if we wanted to, but I think every other week maybe it's like we should have a module done so we don't feel so overwhelmed, you know? But we can look like once
Hmm.
you have access to log in, I want you to look to see like, oh, okay, maybe this is once a month, whatever. And then we'll just walk through it together and do the homework together. But I think like tentatively having a module done every other week, although we can check in verbally weekly about like, what do
Hmm.
you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, like let's just do that to tentative. I'm excited because I need someone because Carol is like me. I'm like, maybe, you know, like, but I need someone who is more strict with the, I thought we said every other Friday, we're having this chat. Where you at? You know? Yes. I did
Yeah.
that.
I can do that. Yeah,
Okay.
because also what makes me excited about it is like the idea of, especially after a difficult year where I wasn't able to like be the business, like I didn't have the business mojo, like to
Mm-hmm.
have another tool in the toolbox to say,
Yes.
if times are tough, I can make something happen.
Yes.
That feels like more resilience to me. And I like resilience.
Yes. And low key, we can always be like, let's bring Terry on for everyone else, aka us, to be like, so we have
Yeah, we
questions.
kind
I
of do know
mean,
the
the
teacher.
audience has questions. Can you do a quick
Let's do
tutorial?
it.
I know. Gotta
She's
see
so
that one.
sweet. She would say
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, she would, obviously.
I love that
Honestly.
she's such a quiet, adorable, like Southern Belle, fucking
Yeah.
multimillionaire.
I know.
Like I
I
bet
mean,
they wouldn't even guess. You put Terry in a lineup of
yes.
people, and because of like the way we are, like in just society, like
Mhm.
no one would pick her out of the lineup
No,
and be
she's like
like,
a
"Oh,
bajillion.
that's the
Plus, Terry is,
multimillionaire."
she's, I mean, literally making $1 million in a day. It's like, do you want to sit here, honey bun? Like, she
Yeah,
is, I know. I love that though.
just quiet, and she calls herself really nerdy and techie and into the weeds,
Yes.
and I love that. I fucking
Oh,
love
yes.
it.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited, Mandy. Mandy's my partner.
Okay. Yeah, give me the access.
Okay.
I'm gonna be doing like a little bit of like a solo retreat. So this is
Okay.
actually a good time I can do
Okay.
all the things I can't do when I don't have all of my brain here because I share it with
Ooh.
two other humans.
Honestly, I think we just
Mm.
modeled really good behavior. So as you guys are doing your check-in, one, identify kind of like what you wanted to do in the beginning of the year, identify where
Hmm.
you are now without judgment, not like, oh, you should be here, just, oh, I did
Yeah.
say I kind of wanted to do that. And here's where I am now. Oh, some things I did do, some things I did additional, some things I never got to, some things I regressed on. And then ask yourself kind of like, what's holding you back, like Manny just did for me. Um, and what would you need in order to move forward? Is it support, like like a accountability partner like me and Mandy? Is it a course? Is it a book? Whatever that is, like identifying what that is. And I suggest you don't do this alone because sometimes you can't see yourself. Like Mandy was so good at pulling out this stuff for me. Maybe do this with your bestie, your sister, your partner, your hubby, your wife, whoever. um,
Mm.
and then lock a tactical thing you're going to do. Because it's one thing to be like, oh, thank you so much, Manny, for helping me see where I was stuck. And then I would just continue to be stuck. But it's like, no, what can we actually do? Like, oh, now she's going to hold me accountable. I'm going to hold her accountable. And now it's like, no, I can see movement forward because like, it's not just me, I'm going to be like, child, when I want to hear Mandy's mouth, let me go ahead and do this module
And what's
because I
that
want to make
mean?
sure I'm ready. So I'm so excited. But I think that's such
Plus,
good
I know I can
modeling.
be vulnerable with you. Like I don't have any self-consciousness around like, girl, what does this mean again? What's the stop
Yeah,
loss?
girl,
Tell
me
me that
too. The
again.
Googles is my friend. Okay. Google said.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am excited. Yeah, this is great. And I love that we can coach each other. We're
Yeah.
professional like coaches in our
Yes. That
lives,
could coach you.
but we still
No.
need some, hell yeah,
Abs-
we still need some support.
absolutely.
Okay.
it's time. No, that's BAQA. And now it's time to boost up, break up, boost up, break up, boost up, break. Are you
Mm.
gonna boost?
Mm,
Are you
mm,
gonna break? Da, 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 da. What you gonna do? What you gonna take? La 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 la. Well, I know that Mandy, that you have a little bit of a deeper boost. And me, I got a real
yeah.
light boost. So can I go first?
Yes, go for
Light
it.
boost. So my light boost is going to be laughing gas, girl. Here's the thing, legally. So I have dental anxiety. I did not know it was actually a thing. I mean, I knew I felt anxious when I went to the dentist, but I
Mm,
didn't realize it was like a thing. Until like some years back, I saw a guy, one of my friends I follow on Facebook, had posted that his dental anxiety had kept him from the dentist for like 20 years, and his teeth were like falling apart. I'm talking about no cleaning, no nothing. And he
yikes.
found a dentist, I want to say in Brooklyn, that specialized in people with dental anxiety, and they literally put him to sleep to do all his dental work. He had to go for like 2 or 3 weeks straight.
Mm,
And I was like, wait, dental anxiety? I mean, I thought we all just hated the dentist, but there are people who actually experience more anxiety than others. And I realized I had not been going. I mean, I take care of my teeth, I brush, I do all this stuff, but I was not going for cleanings. I was not, and honestly, I wasn't really getting a ton of cavities or anything like that. But still, I'm like, girl, you need to go. So once I saw that post, I Googled dentist for anxious people. I'm like, is that a thing? And it was. And I found a place in New Jersey, Hackensack, called Designing Smiles, I think it's called. And so I went, and I freaking love that place because so on the surface, it's just a regular dentist, but they specialize in people with dental anxiety. So you go, there are 3 levels of things they could do for you. So one, my last dentist before used to take forever on my cleanings and was a little rough. That almost, I was like, I can't come back here. They are really quick with the cleaning. Like they're thorough, but they specialize in being really fast because they know you're anxious. Um, and they're really gentle because that's one of the things that, like that drilling, the scraping is like, and they have levels. They're like, I bring my headphones and I can I listen to our podcast or music or whatever while they're cleaning. And so like loud enough to kind of cover the drills, but not so loud that I can't hear instructions from them. So that level 1 is bring your headphones to zone out. Level 2 is, so I did end up having a cavity because I had not been to the dentist since before Jarrell passed away. I just stopped doing everything. So I had a cavity, and I
mm,
had one of my crowns had to be replaced because after 8, 10 years, you got to get a new crown. And so I was like, the headphones are not going to be enough. They're like, well, we have laughing gas. And I was like, tell me more. And like basically it just calms you down. And I said, okay. And then the next level, if you are really, really anxious, like shaking, they can actually put you to sleep. Putting someone to sleep is never ideal in general, just because to put someone to sleep, you also have to wake them up. And there's always a chance that you don't. So, but that is for like the next
oh,
level for people.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, that's just in
Like full on
general. Like,
anesthesia?
yeah, like they could just put you to sleep, put you to sleep. And so I said, okay, I don't think I need that. And they don't jump there. You have to kind of like progress up.
Yeah. It's
So
probably more expensive too.
yeah,
Like,
so for the laughing gas, so I got the 2 teeth done. For the laughing gas, it was an additional $125. I was like, pay it.
okay.
When I tell you, Mandy, child, they put the little like nozzle on your nose. That laughing gas hit. So laughing gas feels like, how right before you're about to fall asleep, you're in this hazy dream state
Hmm.
where you're like, I'm about to go down, but you're not quite asleep.
Yeah.
Girl, that laughing gas hit. I was like, what? I feel like, I mean, I don't know smoke weed, but I feel like, is this what the weed smokers be feeling like? I was like, don't worry about a thing.
About a thing.
I mean, he was drilling, he was all the things. And I was like, child, go ahead,
We going
doctor.
for a ride.
I mean, and I was so chill. So
Mm,
this is how anxious I get. So the last time I went to the doctor, my blood pressure was 116/80, which is like good. We like perfect
really
blood
good.
pressure.
Yeah.
Please, I went to the dentist the next day. They take your blood pressure at this place. She was like, you're 146 over like 100. And meanwhile, I didn't feel like I was anxious, but it was obvious my body was having a reaction because I was. And she said, you really
Hmm.
do have dental anxiety. I was like, because I told her, my doctor just yesterday, I just went perfect blood pressure. She's like, okay. And
Yeah.
so I got my 2 teeth done. I had my headphones on. I listened to a podcast, and I had the
The laughing
laughing
gas.
gas. And when I tell you the level of anxiety I felt was like a 2. And so he
Nice.
was done. He was like, you were a perfect patient. I was like, huh? Who? So it takes about 10 minutes for it to wear off once they take it off.
Mm.
And I tell you, I'm like, okay. Now I'm not as anxious because one, I don't get it for cleaning, so I don't need it. But I'm not as anxious to go. And I was calling one of my friends who gets really anxious, and I told her I would go with her, but I told her the experience. And so these are one of the things like what is the money for? This additional expense was worth it. The 125 was worth it on top of what I had to pay for dental. And I had dental
Yeah.
insurance, but I had like capped out on like my deductible or whatever. And so yeah, so it just was worth the spend. And so I just encourage anyone, that if you have any sort of anything medically, you know, that sometimes we tell ourselves this is just how it has to go. And that's not necessarily true. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know there were dentists for people who were anxious. And I'm so glad that I
Me
found
either.
someone. Yeah, because like I said, they're great. And yeah, like
Every
and what I
dentist should
too,
just be a dentist for anxious
I
people,
mean, and
because
it's
then
black
every
owned by a woman who started it. So there's like my dentist was a black
mm,
doctor. And so I love that too. We love to support the blacks around here. So which
mm,
is great. So yeah,
to
just
support the
worth the
blacks.
price, worth the extra expense. I know everybody can't afford it. That's not what I'm saying. But for
Yeah.
me, when people say what is the money for, this is one of those areas where I was like, I know it's an extra $125, but because extra $25, $125 meant that I don't avoid this for another 6 months, which means, a cavity could become a root canal. So all of a sudden, you get yourself a
Yep.
$200 for a cavity is a $1,500, $2,000 root canal. And so in the
Yep.
long run, the 125 allows me not to have to spend whatever $1,000+ to do deeper work. So,
And the root
it's
canal
just
requires a
money well
crown,
spent.
which is another 8 to 10 years. You're gonna have to
Girl,
replace that. So
girl.
I
So
know it
it
makes
was
so
worth the
much
cost. So
sense.
yes, I mean, so when we talking about laughing gas, I'm talking about at the dentist,
Mm,
not at home. But yes, it
yeah.
was great.
In the midst of all my like really, really tough last few months, I dragged myself to my doctor for my annual physical, and
Okay.
that alone gives me so much anxiety. And I was like looking
Okay.
for every reason not to go. I ended
Mm-hmm.
up self-sabotaging to where I had both kids home with me that day. And I was like, oh, well, I can't. But anyway, forced myself to go. And I think I talked about that, but I got my results back, and my cholesterol is not that cute, you guys.
Okay.
Apparently it was 286 last December,
Mm-hmm.
and I like didn't comprehend. I didn't really like it didn't sink in for me, but
Mm-hmm.
anyway, it went down this time,
Okay,
but it's still
good.
like in the high range. It's 236.
Okay.
And especially after everything my dad has been going through, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it makes sense that I'm not at my healthiest state right now, but at least I went and now I have the information. Yeah, but that anxiety can stop so
Girl.
many people from getting the info that could make them healthier.
And to me, I'm like, if
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend money, like for me, I went saying, Mandy, I had not been to the doctor since before Jarrell passed away because I just kind of gave up, obviously. So it was crazy. I
Mm,
was in the doctor's office. She's like, I see you haven't been here in 2 years. I had a doctor before. She got cancer and she just was not available, obviously. And so I was looking for a new one. And then Jarrell passed away. And then I was like, girl, I'm not doing none of this stuff. So when I got
mm.
back, I did not expect to be crying at the doctor's office. And she's like, why haven't you been here? I was like, well,
Aw.
I know. She was so sweet. So I love my new doctor. My sister suggested her. And she's like, well, you're back now, and I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. I too got my results from my chart or whatever, and I'm vitamin D deficient, which I heard is very common.
Samesies.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I have to figure out like what's a good way. I gotta ask my mom. She's a nurse.
Take a supplement.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a supplement. And then I found out that I am pre-diabetic. I was like,
Wait, really?
yes. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a carb, and sweets got a chokehold on me.
Well, sometimes it
And
doesn't even matter what your diet is. It's just like genetic sometimes.
well, she said
Um,
like, I feel like it is my diet because if you could only see the sweets, I'm a sweet. Like, I mean,
yeah.
yeah. So my mom doesn't have, my dad doesn't have. So she said it's and pretty early stage, So just she's like basically, Tiffany, monitor your because I'm not gonna lie, the last few, at least for maybe the last 6 months to a year, I have just been like, girl, yes, I'll take
Mm.
more syrup on my pancake, on top of my this, on top of my cookie on the side, on top of my dessert, on top,
What's
yes,
the money for?
I know, like ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. And so I was just like, so she basically was like, let's see if you change your diet, and then let's see what it does to your point. And so those are the
Mm,
only two things. Everything else, like, she said your cholesterol actually was excellent. So I was proud of myself because I had stopped
mm,
eating fried foods a very long time ago. And, I
mm.
walk every day, just about. And she was
Yeah,
like,
that
kidney
physical
function,
activity.
everything else, every other level was where it should be. But she was like, girl, it's pre-diabetes. And I had heard that once you are diabetic, you're always diabetic? You just manage it? I don't know.
No, not necessarily. No, you're not.
Okay.
Because like my dad had weight loss surgery a long time ago, and he was officially like not diabetic anymore.
Okay.
Um, so when you have type 1 diabetes, which is the kind that's like you can't
Right.
control it, it's just like you either got it or you
Hereditary,
don't. You
yes.
can't get rid of that. But yeah, type 2, you just it's kind of like the idea of when a cancer goes into remission,
Mm,
like
you
that,
can go into
like there could
remission.
be a time. I think you always have to be like on alert, but your
Okay.
blood sugar levels are your blood sugar levels. And
Yeah.
if they're staying consistently in a healthy range, then I would say, I mean, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but having
Yeah.
heard so many doctors, my dad was like so adamant and it was not even really relevant to what was happening with him then, but it became a point of pride for him to have everyone acknowledge he's no longer diabetic.
I love that though.
And I'm like, okay, dad. Yeah, you're not diabetic. Okay. Your blood sugar is immaculate. He's like, Trump, I got beautiful blood sugar. The most amazing blood sugar.
Oh boy!
Like,
Well, now that I told all my business between like my cavity and the diabetes,
diabetes.
I got a little touch of sugar. I know we're gonna be flooded, and I don't mind, girl. If you are a nurse or a doctor, whatever, you got some tips for the vitamin D. I am not a pill swallower, so come with something. Is there a liquid?
Oh no,
Girl, I cannot. Is
yes,
there
I
a
used to give it
gummy?
to the babies.
A liquid?
There's
Something?
definitely a gummy. I hate gummies. I'm a swallow. I
Ooh,
mean,
I love. See, look at me already. Look, I'm already looking for a sugary gummy. Not me trying to get more sugar.
yeah, and they just like they roll the gummies in sugar now. It's like,
I
ow, my
mean,
teeth.
it's bad. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I was like addicted to Flintstones chewables. I was like, let me get another one. My mom's like, it's
Yeah.
only one a day. I'm like,
See, they
when you
set
go to
us
sleep.
up to be diabetics.
I mean,
Here's your
so
multivitamin.
I probably shouldn't take a gummy. Scratch that. I don't want a gummy because I'm the type to be like, well, one is better than two, right? So let's
Girl, if
maybe
you
like
don't
a
just
liquid.
swallow a pill,
Yeah, no, maybe a
come
liquid
on.
supplement. Because I have to take it daily. So maybe like a liquid supplement I can put in water or something like that.
I have one of those. I have a cute little pill case now, and it's mostly vitamins because
Okay.
I started taking magnesium and
I
B12.
heard that's
It
so
really helps with
good.
like mood, and
Yes.
then vitamin D on top of that. And I don't know if I don't know, but I have been vitamin D deficient for a long time,
Yeah.
and the doctor's like, "So are you taking?" I'm like, "No,"
Yeah. I
but
didn't realize
finally,
that.
I'm doing it.
So yeah. Okay. Well. All right. Well, are you gonna boost or break
Good.
Manny? Now that, like I said, we don't told all our business.
We done told all the business. Let me see. Well, since it's September, I'm gonna boost for September surge.
Okay.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the rumbling? It is the sound of everybody who has power in hiring positions returning to the office after the holiday, the summer season, and they are dusting off their keyboards and they are getting back to emails, they're getting back on the hiring front. It's just a known trend in September. They call it September surge. It's
Okay.
the fact that more hiring tends to happen. It doesn't always mean that there's like all of a sudden there's more jobs. I really think it's down to the fact that it's just like post September, people get their shit together because now everyone's in the mode of like, okay, we got to get these new hires in, we got to get these roles filled, get them in, get them trained. The holiday season is coming. Like, let's go, go, go. And I think everyone is just more switched on in September. So for anyone, and I think a lot, like right now, the data is showing that no surprise, people at work are not quitting like they were a couple of years ago. They are feeling like, okay, let's make this work because the job market is like way more competitive. There's not as many jobs as there were, but it would be really wise, even if you are sort of like sheltering in place at your current role, it'd be really wise to start getting a little bit more active on LinkedIn. If there is some indication that, whether you just have a gut feeling like, oh, there's something off here, I want to maybe look at other opportunities, or if you're still getting the mixed messages from management about like your opportunities for advancement, then this is just a great time for anyone to be getting on LinkedIn, making sure your profile is in tip-top shape. It's also the season of like all the networking events start happening again and conferences. It's like popping off. So if you don't have any plans for like some kind of professional networking event, in September or the next few months, I would say plan for some, because this is just the time when people are in the mode of, okay, holidays are coming, let's get some stuff done. What else can I say? Update your LinkedIn. Of course, yes, dust off your resume. That's always good. Think about like setting what kind of goals. Like, I don't want you to go out there and apply for every single thing that you see, but like really specifically apply to roles if they speak to you, like if they are where you want to go. And then do your follow-ups. Like if you had applied for things over the summer and hadn't heard back, like send those follow-up emails. It may just be that there was some kind of pause for all the holidays and the vacations and stuff, but take an opportunity to reach back out, even reach back out to the recruiters. It's surprising to me, like how many people forget about the recruiters who reach out to them for opportunities, and they're like, can you do a phone screen? Okay, cool. You do a phone screen, you don't make it through the first round, and then you go about your life. But those recruiters, they keep recruiting, and even they may be working for several different firms. So even just reaching back out to the recruiters who contacted you in the past, let them know that you're open. If they're a good recruiter, they're always looking for great talent. So this could be a good time to just like pop back up on their radar, say, hey, hi, tell them what you're looking for, and see what shakes out.
That's really good advice. I didn't realize it was September surge. Like, I guess that makes sense. Summertime's a little slow. That really makes sense. So, yes, chat. Why are you trying to get it? Here's the thing, right? Because the point of money, I hope you get, that's why we call ourselves Brown Ambition, is that it's not just money. Money is a tool for your holistic, better life, right? Your health, your happiness, connection, relationships, career, businesses. And so we're here hopefully to be a guide / companion on your journey. So if you love this episode, and we hope that you did, go ahead on and share this episode. And also, and as well, could you leave us a review? Go ahead down to the right wherever it is that you normally listen, but especially if you are Apple girly,
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and leave a review because
wait,
what happened? Someone left a new review.
I'm so sorry. I just saw the review. We have a new review since the last time we checked, and
you want to read it? Is it good?
Is this? The headline is "Love from Your White Sister."
Yes, white sister.
Is this my sister Mallory or like a different white sister? I don't know. All right. This is from 10K Emergency Done on Apple Podcasts. She says, I've been listening to Brown Ambition for the last 4 years. It's the absolute best. I feel like I have a perfect foundation about my personal finances from listening to this show, and I am always thoroughly entertained by your stories. Y'all are the best. Thank you for this show. That's so sweet.
Yes, I love that. Yes, white sister.
Thank you.
Okay, but yeah, so we love for all the girlies and the guylies to leave us a review, share this episode, because whenever you leave a review, it lets us be seen, heard, and shared. And so we love y'all. And so we will see you on Friday. And then again on Monday. Bye. Hey, BA fam. We're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.